Rep was definitely on the bus as far as Bicester. I saw him get off that one and get onto the Oxford bus. And it's non-stop.
Well, then he couldn't have been on the bus when it left Bicester, could he? Perhaps someone saw him and offered him a lift from the bus station.
If they did, he never got home. I've just phoned his wife, Debbie. I'm off to see her.
If that someone saw him, then it was either a coincidence or
that someone was following him.
Well?
There was a car got in the way soon after Bullingdon. And it stayed between me and the bus almost to Bicester.
Colour? Registration?
Oh, I was concentrating on the bus, wasn't I?
Anything behind you?
Behind me?
It's not the pantomime season, Lewis. Yes, was anyone following you?
Oh, not that I noticed.
The black car in front of you was R309 UHM. Stolen 2 days ago from Gerrard's Cross. Close your mouth, there's a bus coming.
Are you saying you were following me? Nah, I'd have seen you.
I wasn't in my own car. I used one of the unmarked jobs.
Why?
I think a thank you first, don't you?
Thank you? You muscle in without so much as a buy your leave, and you don't even do anything when you see Rep getting into this stolen car.
I didn't say I'd seen that happen. I was surmising.
But you were at the bus station?
Yes. Well, as you were answering an urgent need for last night's football results, I was answering an equally urgent one for a little micturition, as they'd say in the Radcliffe.
Eh?
I needed a pee.
Look, this is my case.
Yes, there's no need to get on your high horse, Lewis.
Why are you so interested in it anyway?
A helping hand, that's all.
I'm not exactly wet behind the ears. I'll be an inspector soon if there's any justice in the world.
I'm not sure there is, Lewis.
Mr. Morse? Dr. Whale is retired.
Oh, miss him. You're much prettier, though. Very like your mother.
Did you know my mother?
She nursed me once. Most attentively, too.
No sign of him yet. He's probably down the boozer.
Can I come in?
No, you can't. It's not convenient.
We've had some unconfirmed information that your Harry could have been involved in a murder.
Harry? He's a burglar. Who said?
An anonymous source.
Anonymous? Like a letter?
Well, I can't tell you, I'm afraid, Debbie.
That's why that other couple was asking about a letter, right? If Harry ever got me to post one for him when he was inside.
What other copper?
It doesn't make sense. He wouldn't grass himself up, especially if he hadn't done nothing.
What copper?
Last night. Moss, wasn't it? Oh, I love them old cars, don't you?
It's a much higher reading than we'd like. How are your units?
I drink pints, not units. Much tastier.
This is not something to be flippant about, Mr. Morse. You are a man who is very ill. You do understand that.
I think 2 stomach ulcers gave me a clue, yes.
I want you to be clear about this. You will never, clinically speaking, get any better than you are now. Very possibly you will get worse. But if you minimize your alcohol intake, there is a chance you will feel a little better.
Maintenance, not repair.
At best. It's up to you now.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to ask?
You've been very frank. There is something, Doctor.
Yes?
You know I'm a police officer. Doubtless you've read in the press about a new development in the inquiry regarding your mother's murder. But you haven't asked me about it, have you? Why not?
Would you tell me?
It's not my case. Although initially I did see... I was at the scene of the crime that night.
It's something I'm trying very, very hard to forget, Inspector.
Well, that just takes the biscuit, that does.
Lewis?
I'm sorry, sir, but what the hell do you think you're playing at? First you follow me, and then you... Oh, well, rather not then, but before. You go around and question Debbie Rep about her old man.
Where's your car? All right, Lewis, you've made your point. If I trod on your toes...
In any case, you should be taking it easy, shouldn't you?
Probably, yes.
You really think something's happened to Rep?
He was afraid. I think he wrote that letter himself and got Debbie to post it so that we keep an eye out for him.
Why not come straight to us?
Harry Rep? Go for help to the law? He was hedging his bets, putting himself under police surveillance in case... Oh, I don't know. Isn't it your round?
Do you think another one's a good idea?
Think. That's why I want it, to think. I don't drink for pleasure.
You're all right, aren't you, sir?
Better off than Harry Rep, I suppose. At least I'll have a retirement. Bird watching, Wagner. You know, you really should persevere with Wagner, Lewis. It's about important things. Life and death. Regret.
Cheer up, sir. It's a lovely evening. Look at that sunset.
Ensanguining the skies, how heavily it dies into the west away, past touch and sight and sound, not further to be found. How hopeless underground falls the remorseful day.
Do for now. You're in all day. So about 4 o'clock. Oh, I might need to talk to you later. Okay.
I hate to say I told you so. Time of death.
Dr. Hobson's examining him now. Oh, the chief super's just arrived too. Several stab wounds. No sign of a weapon, of course.
Cheer up, Lewis. Could happen to anyone.
What could?
Taking your eye off the ball for a moment, as you did with that bus.
Thanks.
They don't provide clothes pegs, do they?
About taking me eye off the ball.
Oh, don't lose any sleep over it. I wouldn't. Harry Rep was a cheap and nasty little crook.
You might be right.
I know I am. Good riddance.
But the thing is, it's not him.
Nothing in the pockets?
No.
Well, if it's not Rep, who the hell is it?
Search me.
The name's Paddy Flynn. I had him in for questioning on the Yvonne Harrison murder.
You mean the taxi?
Yeah, the taxi driver, yeah. He picked Frank Harrison up at Oxford Station off the train from London.
Which was Harrison's alibi.
Yeah.
Doctor?
Of course.
Anything?
Death occurred within the last 24 hours and not here.
Can't you be less precise?
Wrong side of the bed this morning?
Thank you, Doctor.
Is that it?
Until the post-mortem, yes. And it's no good sighing.
Did I?
When don't you?
Is there anything to indicate how the body got here?
I'm working on two theories, Chief Inspector. One, it was dropped from a very low-flying aircraft. Two, it was driven here. On the whole, I'd incline to the latter.
You deserve that, matey.
It's just doctors at the moment.
Look, if you're still not 100%, I can put somebody else on this.
I'm as fit as a fiddle, sir.
Very well, you're in charge then. But if Paddy Flynn's murder does turn out to be connected with Yvonne Harrison's, then...
If, sir?
Yes, Lewis, don't jump to conclusions.
Well, if it was just him, no. But with Harry Rep's disappearance...
Anyway, if there is a connection, and if you ever feel this case is, well, if you don't feel up to par at any time, then just say the word and I'll understand, I promise. If I stay here any longer, I'm going to need a hose down before I address the Rotary Club. Cheers.
Sir.
Coffee?
I like to keep going once I've started.
I know you do, John. Wait till dinner time, then.
It's all the same, yeah.
We might have something nicer than coffee to go with your sandwiches.
Oh, yeah. What's that, then?
Surprise.
Well, it will be if Harry walks in.
He won't.
How do you know?
It's either straight home as soon as he's out, or 2 days of boozers and betting shops with Harry.
You don't know what he's missing.
How many people were in that car? The one between you and the bus?
2, I think. Men.
Could one of them have been Flynn?
Might have been. They're on the passenger side. Sir? Location?
Is it Rep?
Yeah. Starved like Flynn. Do you want a closer look before Dr. Hobson arrives?
Not much.
I would go home if I was you.
Well, you're not me.
I can cope here. You might feel a bit fresher tomorrow.
Lewis, don't fuss. No. No, the car was stolen, so... The car was stolen, so murder was in mind. Assuming Flynn was the passenger, he and the killer pick up Harry Rep from the bus station. Nobody reported a struggle, so he went more or less willingly.
And our man, with Flynn's help, kills Rep.
No, Flynn died first.
Why?
It takes 2 men to put a body in a bag and dump it where they found Flynn. Only one to heave a body into a car boot. There was something just too... It was just too pat about Flynn's statement. He said he picked up Frank Harrison at exactly 11. The news headlines came on the dot as Harrison got into his taxi. It was as if he'd been schooled in a nice, simple answer.
By Harrison.
Bloody things. Nobody takes a blind bit of notice.
You think Harrison wasn't on that train?
The burglar alarm. It should have cut out after 30 minutes. But it was ringing when the area car responded to the 999 call. Yet, according to Dr. Hobson, Yvonne Harrison had been dead for at least 2 hours before she was found.
Perhaps Rep broke in, setting off the alarm. Found her already murdered.
Well, why not steal the silver?
Panic?
Somebody did.
I say. Somewhere nice?
The Randolph. Dinner with the family.
Time for a little cocktail first, if you'd permit me.
I don't think so.
Where's your sense of adventure?
Excuse me.
So much for genetics.
I beg your pardon, Lionel.
Your mother had an unparalleled sense of adventure. And there are occasions when "sir" is most deliciously appropriate. I wondered if you'd inherited her characteristics.
Who'd want to kill Harry? He was harmless, you know.
He put you in hospital once.
That was years ago. It's good as gold since.
That letter he got you to post.
I never said he did.
We can check it for his fingerprints. Yours too, if need be.
He never told me what was in it. I kept my nose out of anything to do with his work.
Was he working the night Yvonne Harrison was murdered?
Well, he could have been, but the way she was found, sex and Harry. Believe you me, I know. And like that Yvonne, knickers up and down like a yo-yo.
Who says?
It's common knowledge down at the Maiden's Arms. Just because she lived in a posh house doesn't mean she wasn't a scrubber.
It must have been hard for you, managing with Harry in prison.
Managing?
For money? Company?
Get used to it.
When you're ready, Chaz.
Busy?
Ish. I'm just finishing off a little job for Debbie Rep.
Oh, she likes a man who's handy with his filler, I've heard.
Your mind.
Your reputation.
Yeah. I'm doing a bit of roofing in the morning. Burford. Nice widow.
Go on.
Small.
Petite.
Oh, yeah. Blue eyes.
How old?
75, 76?
Yeah.
Perfect for you.
Coffee, sir?
Simon. Coffee.
Thank you.
Just leave the pot, would you?
Sir.
So, what are we going to do?
Stop him, Dad. It can't go on.
Sandra?
It depends how.
You know how.
It's difficult for me.
For all of us.
More for me.
Whose fault's that?
Stop it.
Well, it is. The whole thing. Anyway, you said he deserved it.
He does.
Well, then. Sandra.